Today is the day that we rank every state animal from every state in the U.S. As you can see, I have my safari pants on. I'm ready to rock and roll to get out there in the wild and talk animals. We're going to be ranking them on a tier list as usual. S tier to F tier. If you don't know what it is, why are you watching this video? We're going to be ranking them on a few different criteria as well. The first, elegance. How elegant, how amazing is this animal? Does it strike awe into the hearts of people? Number two, power. How would this animal fare in a fight against other animals and or humans and or some sort of alien species? Number three, uniqueness. How unique is it in the wild, and also how unique is it relative to other states? Number four, cultural significance. How significant is this animal to the state that it is the state animal for? And number five, of course, we are going to be ranking them off of vibes. So, without further ado, let's get into the tier list. First animal that we have is the state of Alabama. This is the black bear. The black bear is quite, hold on, what is my first one? Is quite elegant. They can climb trees. Did you know that? Did you know that bears can climb trees? It's actually kind of crazy. They also were quite powerful, but not quite as powerful as a grizzly bear. So medium on the power ranking. They're pretty unique, but not that unique. A lot of states, as you'll see on this list, have the black bear as their state animal, but I don't want to spoil too much. And the cultural significance, I think it has almost no relationship to the culture of Alabama. And the vibes of the black bear are quite good. This is a good one. I'll show you the tier list now as well. So we have the black bear. Black bear is pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. I think all the things that we talked about before culminate in this being a pretty sweet animal. What do you think, ReactBot? Okay. Huge. Okay, moving right along. We've got Alaska. Alaska's animal is a moose. And a moose is, while not being very elegant, is a very powerful animal. This is an animal that is not to be trifled with. I know many people who have been assaulted by mooses, by meese, if you will. There are many people who have been honestly killed by mooses. It's been tough out there. It's hard to see. It's pretty unique as well. It's not in many places in the US, and it's pretty significant to the culture of Alaska, though less significant than the grizzly bear, I would say. But I quite like the moose as a concept. I think it's a great national or state animal to have. So the vibes are utterly amazing. I quite like meeses, so I'm going to probably pop them into, I think they're better than black bears. I think they're based. I think they go top tier, which is pretty crazy. All right, next up, we've got Arizona with the ringtail lemur, which I did not know was even an animal in the United States of America. Did you all even know that they had ringtail lemurs in the US? Am I crazy for not knowing that? I thought that this was from like Africa or New Zealand or something. That being said, not a huge lemur fan. Not gonna lie. Lemurs are okay. They kind of freak me out a little bit. Look at their weird eyes. What are they planning? Who knows? You have no idea. It's honestly off-putting, if I'm gonna be frank with you. So let's go through the criteria. Elegance, 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 elegance. Does this look like an elegant animal to you? I don't feel like it is that elegant. Let's look at a ringtail lemur moving around. Hold on. I actually need to get some supporting articles for this.
When trees are too far apart to be reached in a leap, they have to come down to earth.
Whoa!
Open ground has shaped a very different set of moves.
This isn't a ringtail, though. Oh! A ringtail isn't a lemur! We've been tricked! This is what a ringtail is. It's like a little squirrel, but kind of like the most based of all squirrels, though. I feel like this is a pretty sweet squirrel. It's like got more decoration than a regular squirrel. Ringtail, let's see if we can find a ringtail moving around video. Hold on.
We recently discovered that a couple of ringtails have been using the gait.
Oh,
for agility
dude,
training.
it
And
is
yeah,
elegant. Look at it.
With dog agility, you'll know about the weave poles, and you'll recognize what this little baby ringtail is doing. It's doing the weaves.
It's doing the weaves.
But as it's grown a little bit older and a little more mature and a little more skillful, like Mom.
This is pretty amazing. So these things are like, it's like a squirrel mixed with a fox mixed with a ferret. I kind of like this thing, man. I like it more than I thought I was going to like it. It's quite nice. I will agree with you. It's quite elegant. Did you see the way it was weaving? It's not very powerful, though, which is unfortunate because you would love to see this be able to dominate other creatures in the animal kingdom, but it simply will not be able to. Very unique. And I guess it's pretty significant to the culture because they chose it. And the vibes are amazing. Look at how cute this guy is. I would definitely want to chill with that guy. I would love hanging with that guy. Let's go ahead and pop the ringtail. Ringtail is like A tier. That's pretty sweet. I'm pretty on board with that. Okay, next up, we've got the state of Arkansas, which has the state animal of the white-tailed deer. Now, this one is basically vermin. I am a deer hater. I think that while elegant, they are not very powerful, and they are certainly not unique. They're all over the place in the United States, and they're not significant to any culture because they don't bring anything to the table. I'm not a big fan. I don't really like deer that much. I grew up in Virginia where a lot of deer live and are around, and they are honestly annoying. And the vibes are terrible with deer. So deer is going to be the first one that I put into the butt tier. This is an awful animal to have be your state animal. All right, next up, we've got California with the grizzly bear. Now, it's interesting because California has the grizzly bear. I don't think that there's actually any grizzlies in California. Let me look. No, grizzly bears are not currently found in California. So California is a bunch of posers for choosing their state animal to be the grizzly bear. Though, grizzlies are quite awesome. They're very elegant. They can catch fish with their hand out of a river. Easy. Like, look at this. He said, "Boop." Oh, no, he missed. Never mind. Hold on. Oh, he's just absolutely vibing. Just grab one, bro. So lazy.
They don't always get it right.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, they're pretty elegant. Actually incredible. An incredible animal. And they get to sleep for like 9 months of the year, which is pretty sick. So they're pretty elegant. They are dexterous at the very least. They are powerful for sure. They're relatively unique only in the western U.S. They are pretty significant to the culture of California somehow, even though they are extinct within the state. And the vibes are incredible. I'm a huge fan of grizzly bears. We're going to put them S tier. They are absolutely based.
We stan a queen.
I'm saying. All right, next up, we've got Colorado with the Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep. Bighorn sheep are like deer, but cooler. Agree? Disagree? Thoughts? I feel like that's a very accurate representation of what they bring to the table. They're kind of like deer in that they are like have good balance and they hop around and stuff, but they have extra power. And they're also kind of delicious. So maybe not a bighorn sheep. A bighorn sheep is actually probably not that yummy to eat, but powerful, more powerful than a deer, as elegant as a deer, more unique than a deer as well, and culturally significant to Colorado. Yeah, we could say that. And the vibes are great. I like them. I like to watch them ram their heads into each other. I think that that's quite cool. So we have the bighorn sheep. Where are you? I'm going to put you. You're like low A. You're pretty sweet, but not the best. Okay. Ooh, an absolute hitter from the next one. Connecticut with the state animal of the sperm whale. The sperm whale is an unbelievable pick for your state animal. An untouchable apex herbivore. Is just so big that nothing can mess with it other than humans. And I think that is pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of a sperm whale as your animal. They are so elegant despite being big. They're quite powerful. Nothing will mess with them. They're so big it doesn't even matter. They are very unique, and they're relatively significant to the culture of Connecticut, I guess. Actually, they're not significant to the culture of Connecticut at all. I don't understand why this would even be considered the animal for them. But regardless, the vibes are immaculate. We love a sperm whale. Where are you? You are S tier based, above grizzly bear, above moose. Probably the number one best animal on this list, I would say. All right, next up we got Delaware. Delaware has the state animal of the gray fox. The gray fox is a tricksy little dog. A cute little animal, but a predator nonetheless. A predator that hunts, I don't know, squirrels or something. And they're freaking adorable. All these state animals are really good. But how does it stack up against the others on this list so far? You know what? Actually, I'm taking sheep down. I'm going to put it into mid. I'm looking at A tier again, and I think that the sheep is actually mid. So the gray fox is better than the sheep for sure. So elegant, not very powerful, but cunning. It has a powerful mind. Whereas other animals on this list settle their differences with fists, the gray fox uses their sharp intellect to outsmart its competitors. So that's quite powerful. Also very unique. You usually think of a red fox when you think of foxes. So that's pretty cool. Cultural significance, I might remove this from the list for the future ones because I don't actually know if anything is or is not culturally significant, if I'm being honest. But the vibes are great. This is an A tier animal if I've ever seen one. Let's put it up there, probably below the ringtail because it's less unique. I think I'm actually going to move black bear down below both of these. I feel like that's a better ranking. All right, next up we've got the Florida panther. I didn't even know that they had panthers in Florida. Did you, Reactbot?
To all my haters, look how smooth my skin is.
Yeah, okay. Reactbot didn't either. The Florida panther, I'm a huge fan of big predator cats. I love tigers. I love lions. I love panthers. I love pumas. I think they're so slick. They're elegant while still being quite powerful. And extremely unique. Nobody else has had a panther or any sort of big cat on this list to this point. So, for that reason, the Florida panther is going up in S tier. It's going above moose. It's going below sperm whale. That is a based choice for your state animal. Okay, next up. Oh, Florida also has the manatee. So Florida's got two state animals, but I'll allow it in this time because I quite like both of these animals. I think the panther and the manatee are both very cool. Again, Florida choosing some really awesome animals. Manatees are also not really found anywhere else in the world, I don't think. Florida is pretty much the main spot for manatees, and they are just sort of like mini whales. They just kind of roll around in the ocean and like eat grass and stuff, and nobody really messes with them. I quite like manatees as well. They're very, very cute, very unique, very powerful. Culturally significant to Florida as well. I know I said I was going to drop that, but I think they are legitimately culturally significant because they are like the main place that manatees are found is Florida. And the vibes are unbelievable. Like I would definitely chill with a manatee, like no questions asked. So manatees are also based, dude. They're quite based, more based than a grizzly bear, more based than a moose, but less based than a puma, probably, if I had to be honest. Okay, next, we have the North Atlantic right whale from Georgia. And you all already know that I love whales. I'm a fan. I just can't help myself. I like whales. They're based. They're so big and awesome. They flop around, man, and they shoot water out of their spouts and stuff. And that's unbelievably cool. And nobody really messes with them in the animal kingdom. Does any animal eat whales? I don't think so. Let me look it up. Okay, killer whales and occasionally sharks can eat whales. But other than that, nobody eats whales, and that's awesome. We respect that. So we're going to pop whales into... This whale is less cool than a sperm whale, but still quite cool. Based. So far, this list has had a lot of based animals on it. I did not realize it was going to be quite this based in general. Okay, here's where the problems start, because Georgia has another state animal, and it's the white-tailed deer again. And that's part of the reason why I put it into the butt tier, because I just feel like the white-tailed deer is so not unique and so lame. It's just so butt. Anyway, moving right along. The Hawaii state animal is the monk seal. And monk seals are big, they're fat, they're blubbery, they're cute, they're slippery, they're playful, they bask in the sun. They are what everyone wants to be. I wish that I could behave like a seal on a day-to-day basis. If I could wake up every day and have the life of a seal, I probably would. Because you get to live in Hawaii. You're a protected species, so nobody really messes with you. You're also kind of the biggest thing out there other than sharks and whales. So you're chilling. Nobody's really going to bite you or anything other than sharks. But if a shark attacks you, you can just go onto the land because you're a seal. And that's awesome. That's so sick. And you're chill. And your vibes are unique and awesome. You're also based. Oh my God, I didn't realize that I was going to say everything was based on this list. That's crazy. We're going to have to start bumping some things down, but I don't know what comes out of this S tier. If I'm being honest, I have no idea. I can't move anything out of this. We'll stick with it. We're going to stay with our heart here, you know? This is a list based off of the appeal, the general appeal, and the idea of each animal. So Hawaii also has humpback whale as their state marine mammal. I will not be ranking the humpback whale because you know how I feel about whales. All right, next up we got Idaho. And the state animal of Idaho is the Appaloosa horse, which is this polka dot bastard right here. What do you think, ReactBot?
Sorry, what's up?
He's not even paying attention. What do you mean? Come on. Okay, this looks like an elegant animal, but I'm going to level with you. I don't really like horses. I know they're powerful. I know they're elegant, but they're kind of just like whatever to me. They're just a big heifer on the farm. You know what I mean? They're just made to transport human beings from point A to point B. And I don't love that. Oh, I didn't even realize the vertical stream. You couldn't even see the tier list the whole time. But anyway, this polka dot horse is probably, it's mid. It's mid, but it's better than the bighorn sheep. The bighorn sheep, the more I look at it, the more I want to bump it down to even mediocre. It's just ugly. Like, look at its face. It's just not that cool of an animal. All right. Next up, we got Illinois, which also has the white-tailed deer as their animal, which is kind of ridiculous. That's a stupid thing to have as your animal. Get a job, get a life, get a unique bone in your body, please. All right. We've got Indiana, which has the state bird named the northern cardinal. This is a red bird, flappy wings, cute, kind of aggressive too, but not all that powerful, not really that elegant, not more elegant than any other bird, to be honest with you. Pretty unique, but cardinals are all over the place in the U.S., so not that unique and not that significant to the Indiana culture. But the vibes are quite good. I'm going to put this is a mid. This is definitely a mid choice. Like, if you looked at all the animals on this list so far and you were choosing your state animal and you chose cardinal after you knew what everybody else was choosing, you probably would be pretty mad. You'd be like, I thought that we were picking little ones or something like that. You know what I mean? But instead, so like compare the Florida panther to the northern cardinal. That's like embarrassing. Isn't the white-tailed deer the national animal of Pennsylvania? Yes, it's the state animal of a lot of different places. ReactBot, what do you think about the cardinal? Oh, it is a troll face pick. You're completely right. Okay. We've got another bird next with Iowa. Iowa has the eastern goldfinch, which is chosen because of its prevalence in the state. Relatively elegant, not very powerful though. Pretty unique though. I've never seen a goldfinch in person, and it seems like it's isolated to that area in Iowa, though I do live in the state that is north of Iowa, so I maybe should have seen a goldfinch. Maybe I just haven't noted it or anything. I guess it's significant to the culture, but birds, I'm going to be completely transparent with you all. I hate birds. I think that they are the worst category of animal by far. I think they're weird. I think they poop everywhere. I think they make me uncomfortable. I think their little hands are grimy. and grubby. It's strange to lay eggs to birth your young. Like, why don't you just live birth like a mammal? Yeah, yeah, they're gross. Ugh, yuck, dude. Yucky, ew. Nobody likes birds. Birds, mediocre, if not butt. This is butt tier. That's unfortunate, but it is butt tier. Okay. Next, we got Kansas with the American bison. This is a based choice. It's really sick, and I love bison, and by itself, it would be S tier. The scientific name of the American bison is bison. How can you get more S tier than that? The only thing dinging the bison is, as you'll see later on this list, it's a little bit redundant. It is, unfortunately, the lowest big mammal because of that. It's low A because too many states have chosen the bison as their main animal. So, low A tier. Moving right along, we have Kentucky with the gray squirrel. This is another one that's like the goldfinch. It's like, what are you thinking? What were the people who were creating the state animal for Kentucky thinking when they chose the gray squirrel? The gray squirrel? Are you kidding me? The least intimidating animal in the entire world? Like, what? Little shit. Look at it.
When you assume, you ask to make fuck.
Same, Reactbot. I don't know, man. I'm not a big gray squirrel liker. I think it's not very elegant, extremely not powerful, not unique at all. They're everywhere in the U.S., and it's not significant to any culture. It has no culture. It's a butt tier animal. Butt tier below the goldfinch, but above the white-tailed deer. Okay. Next up, we got Louisiana, which has a Louisiana black bear. I'm not even going to rank this because it's the same as a other black bear. It's the same thing. It's just a black bear. We talked about it. It's cool, but it's not a grizzly. It's like the second tier bear. It's like we have a grizzly bear at home level. Maine also has a moose, but I'm not knocking moose out of S tier for it because moose in general are sweet. They're like, if you took a deer and you raised its power level up to the maximum. Like you took a deer and you, in the character select screen or the character create screen, you slid all of its stats all the way up to the very top. That's what you would get, is you choose the deer class and you make it as powerful as possible. All right, next up we got Maryland. Maryland's state animal is a thoroughbred horse. You know how I feel about horses. This is an even more boring version of the horse than the Idaho horse. Not very cool. Powerful, but whatever. Who cares? It's just a horse. It gets put into a barn at night. It's not powerful in terms of the animal kingdom. It has no idea how to survive. It's domesticated. Imagine. Let's put it, the thoroughbred is going not mid. It's mediocre because it's doesn't even have a cool pattern like this other horse, man. I don't know. I just can't get behind it if I'm being completely transparent, which you all value my transparency on this channel. Okay, we have Maryland has another state animal, which is the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. He is a good boy, but he's not powerful compared to these other animals. It's similar sort of things that I said for the other animals. Domesticated. Not that amazing. Can't really handle living life on its own. It's kind of unique, though, because nobody else chose the dog as their state animal, though there is another dog on this list. But I think I have to put it into the mid tier. Though he is a good boy, he's not pretty sweet. He's not based. He's mid. Next up, we have another dog, which is Massachusetts state animal, the Boston Terrier. Now, this is if you took this animal choice. Also, look at how big his lips look. And you just took everything awesome about the Chesapeake Bay Retriever and you stripped it out. And now you have a Boston Terrier, which is just like a little lap dog that lives inside of your house. Cute? Yes. Based? No. Powerful? No. Elegant? No. Unique? The vibes, though, pretty good. That's what keeps it out of the F tier. That's why it's only mediocre in my mind. It just looks kind of dumb, though. You know what I mean? Better than a thoroughbred horse, though. At least it's like a unique choice. Next up, Michigan. Another white-tailed deer. Boo! Next, we have Minnesota, which is the loon. It does not have an official state animal, but it does have the loon. The loon is fine. It's kind of cool looking. It looks kind of like a crow, which is my favorite bird, though I do dislike birds in general. Crows are cool. The loon has a nice colorway. I like its red eye. It looks kind of menacing. I like its spots too, very camouflaged. Hard to spot out in public if you're a predator. I don't really know how they move around. Let's see. Loon moving around. This is on Facebook.
This is BirdNote.
Wait, that's not even a... Hold on. I want to see a loon. Okay, here's a loon walking. It's basically just a duck. Huh? Am I crazy? The song is a bit much. We might have to mute this. Oh, it's not very good on land. It's pretty slow. All right, the loon is mid, man. I got nothing else to say about it. It's only saved by being relatively cool looking. It's cooler than a cardinal, though. Less cool than a spotted horse, I will say. The back half of this list is where the butt tier ones come in. Mississippi, again with the white-tailed deer. I don't know what you think you're doing here, but it's not working. This is lame. Bad choice.
That's what I call a vibe.
Yeah, of being boring, for sure. Okay, next we have Missouri. The state animal of Missouri is... Sorry. The state animal of Missouri is the Missouri mule. A working animal, a horse with a purpose. This is the everyman of the horse family right here. It clocks in, puts the plow on, gets out there, tills the field, comes home, feeds its family, goes to bed. White collar America or blue collar America represented thoroughly here. We love a mule. We like it a lot. We like it so much that we put it into the wait, where even is it? Hold on. Where is it? Did it not? Oh, there it is. We put it into the A tier. This is America represented in one animal, the mule. We love that. All right, next up we got Montana, which is the grizzly bear yet again. Not going to knock the grizzly bear, though, because I can't mess with the grizzly bear. The grizzly bear is too powerful to mess with. We cannot be doing anything to cross a grizzly bear. That will get you into trouble. Again, we have Nebraska with the white-tailed deer. And I do see that I have a second image of the white-tailed deer. I'm going to put it into the F butt tier again because it deserves to be down there twice with how redundant it is as a state animal. All right, next we got Nevada, which is the state animal is the desert bighorn sheep. This is like the mountain bighorn, but it lives in the desert. I feel like it does not really have anything different going on than the normal bighorn sheep. And for that reason, I'm going to put it into the C tier right next to its mountainous cousin. They look exactly the same. They both have that stupid look on their face that makes me want to punch them and then get absolutely eviscerated by their horns probably afterwards. Okay, New Hampshire, again with the white-tailed deer. I don't know what it is that they think that they're doing by choosing the white-tailed deer as their animal, but it's not working. It's not working at all. It's very stupid. All right, at this point, we have arrived at New Jersey. New Jersey has Shadowfax, the steed of Gandalf, as their state animal. It's the horse. They didn't even choose a specific type of horse. And though I don't like horses, I quite like the idea of just naming your state animal as horse. No specificity, no nothing, just horse. It's like, what's their state animal gonna be? I don't know, like, looks outside, sees a pasture of horses. What about horse? Like, oh, horse, I like the sound of that. Oh, it's Arbor Day! Is it really? What a good day to be ranking national animals. Hello, Schwartz. What a huge day for us. Horse, we like them, but not that much. We like them more than the spotted horse, just slightly, because they had the stones to just be like, yeah, it's horse. What's our state animal? Horse. Beautiful. Okay, next up, we've got another black bear, but I'm not messing with black bears. New Mexico's got the black bear as their national or their state animal. We can't mess around with that. We don't want to move them around. I quite like them. Next up, we got New York with the beaver. Oh my God. This dude has seen some things. Yeah, we did Connecticut. Connecticut has the sperm whale, which is based. Most top tier animal on this list. What is wrong with this dude? What? What happened to my boy? That's crazy. Beavers, one, saying the word beaver is funny because it's a double meaning. Two, beavers are elegant. They chop down trees with their teeth. That's what I call elegant. Maybe that's not elegance, but maybe it is. Who knows? It depends on who you ask. They're powerful. Their jaws, they could definitely bite your foot off with one bite. They're very unique. They're not found in very many places. And the vibes are amazing. The beaver looks like a Vietnam vet. Yes, the beaver is definitely suffering some major PTSD. I'm going to put the beaver into the pretty sweet tier, though. It's the first rodent to crack the B tier and above threshold, and it's in the pretty sweet tier because they construct things. They're builders, much like people. It's amazing. It's unbelievable what beavers are able to do. We love that. We love builders. We love grinders. We love hard workers on this channel. So next we got North Carolina, which is the eastern gray squirrel. And you all already know how I feel about squirrels. They're weird. They have grubby little hands. They dig up my yard to bury their nuts. And they're all over the place. They're found in everywhere in America. Beavers construct things? Yes, exactly. I don't like squirrels. I don't fuck with squirrels. I don't fuck with them so much that they go down into the F tier twice. I hate them. I think they're weird. They make me uncomfortable. I'm always nervous that they're going to come over to me and run up my leg. There was also one time when I was working at Visa. It was my first job out of college. I went and I spent money on getting a Five Guys meal at a place near the office. And I went and I sat by a lake down in a park outside of this Five Guys. And I was at the table and I was enjoying my burger. And there was a squirrel that hopped onto the table and literally got in my face and like bullied me off of the table. I was like, get away, get. And it was like, and I couldn't get it to run away. I've never seen a squirrel that was not scared of humans. And it literally bullied me off of my picnic table. So I had to leave the park, leave the lake, and go eat inside of the Five Guys, which is way more depressing. So F tier. F tier for you. Fuck that squirrel. Okay, next up we got North Dakota, which is the Dakota horse. Looks like a pretty cool animal. You pet a squirrel this winter. It was electric. How did you manage that? Are they nice? The Dakota horse? Dakota horse. What do we think about this? It's a horse, but I like how frosty it looks. I like its coloring. I also like its angsty haircut. It looks like it's a powerful version of a horse. It looks like it's an elegant version of a horse. It seems culturally significant because it's named Dakota in North Dakota, which is basically like if you took North and Dakota and pushed them together. So I'm going to put it, that goes by the other horses in the mid tier, but it's like top of the mid tier. It's better than just horse, and it's better than Idaho spotted horse. Okay, next up we got Ohio, dude, with another white-tailed deer. We do not love white-tailed deer. Like, get some uniqueness or something. Like, I don't know, man. I just can't. I can't believe that so many states chose this as their state animal. Here's a second bison as well for Oklahoma. And that is why bison is in the middle of the A tier, not in the S tier, because bison are based on their own, but this is not a unique choice. Not a unique choice from Oklahoma. Again, with another duplicate, Oregon has the beaver. And that's why Mateo with the $50. What do you mean? Beavers. What do I mean by what? I don't see $50. Regardless, welcome to the chat. Anyway, did you? If you did, okay. You didn't. They're lying. Okay. Beavers are cool, and I love them. But it's redundant, Oregon. Get a life, get a job, get an identity. Same goes for you, Pennsylvania. Get a life, get a job, get an identity. Do not steal other states' state animals. Also, like, well, the white-tailed deer, man. Out of everything, the white-tailed deer, so lame. That's Pennsylvania. Okay, Rhode Island is next. And this one, it'll go counter to a lot of the things that I've been saying. But the Rhode Island red chicken is a crazy choice. This is an amazing choice. I think it's so funny to make your state animal the chicken. Like, if you're going to make it something stupid, make it something really, really stupid, like a chicken. The semi-alliteration does also go hard. You're right, Schwartz. The Rhode Island red chicken. It rolls off the tongue. It's not a very elegant animal. It's not a very powerful animal. But by George, if it is not a unique animal. And it seems like it's culturally significant to Rhode Island because it's the Rhode Island red chicken. They named it after the state, man. So, what do you think, ReactBot?
Pathetic. You can do better.
What? No, I disagree. I think the Rhode Island red chicken is our first S-tier based bird. Okay, moving right along. Oh, we're not ranking the harbor seal because Rhode Island thinks that it can have 2 animals. That's ridiculous. Next up, we have South Carolina, who also has the white-tailed deer. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, moving along, we have South Dakota, which is the state animal is the coyote, which is like a dog on steroids, right? Are coyotes bigger dogs or are they small dogs? Regardless, they're like a fox on steroids. It's like if you took a fox and you slid its stats all the way up to the top. Yeah, this one is also an extreme Chad. Just a ridiculously chatted out muzzle, awesome ears, very fuzzy. Looks like he would be nice to pet, but could also catch you a nice plump chicken for dinner. This one is high A for me for sure. Pretty sweet. Sweeter than a fox. Probably sweeter than a ringtail too, if I'm being honest. Kind of badass. Good choice. Okay. Next we got Tennessee with the raccoon. And now you all might think that I'm not going to like raccoons. You all might think that I'm going to say, oh, raccoons are vermin. They're silly. They're gross. I respect raccoons. I think raccoons are so sick. They are like squirrels, but better. They're like foxes, but better. They're the type of animal that are like, you know how crows live in like every biome? Same with raccoons. They live everywhere. They can survive everywhere. They have razor sharp claws. They'll eviscerate other animals. They can get big. They can get mean. They can climb anything. Sly Cooper is a raccoon, right? They're just agile, badass animals. And for that reason, the raccoon is going S tier, above the chicken, below the monk seal. Monk seal needs to be higher. Monk seal still needs to be higher. Raccoon is not better than a grizzly bear, though. All right, next up, we got Texas. Texas has the 9-banded armadillo. Have you ever seen an armadillo walk around? I want to show everyone armadillo walking around. The only way I can describe it is trundling. These things trundle about, but it doesn't matter because their body is made of armor. It just scoots around with its big old suit of armor on. That's so cool. And then it can roll up into a ball and be like, you can't touch me. Awesome animal. Very, very cool. Armadillo is the closest thing we have to a land crab. Well said, Schwartz. I quite like that description. So the armadillo, where do we put the armadillo? Armadillo is probably a low A. Pretty sweet, but not better than a beaver. It can't build anything. That's the big thing. Beavers build their own house. They're self-made. Armadillos, they were born with that suit of armor on. And that's the difference between those two. All right, moving right along, we've got Texas again. Wait, Texas had the armadillo, and Texas also has the longhorn cow. I'm going to rank both of these going against what I've said before. Longhorn cow. I love cows, man. See the girls back there? They're upside down right now. I don't know who flipped them upside down. That's kind of disturbing. But the girls are back there. We love cows on this stream. Also hook 'em. Go horns. Longhorn, you're S tier. You go just below manatee. Above manatee, below the panther. We are cow centric on this stream. Okay, easy enough ranking. Next up, we've got Utah with the Rocky Mountain elk. The elk is an interesting one. A very, very interesting one. It's like a deer, but more powerful, but less powerful than a moose. Is it elegant? Can it really move around? It's like a deer if it had no mobility, but not quite as like, I don't give a fuck as a moose. So it's like caught in this kind of weird gray area. I don't quite like it. I don't really like it at all. It's like a redundant kind of animal. It feels distinctly mid to me. It's pretty mid, if not mediocre. It's better than the Cardinal, though. Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay, next we've got another horse from Vermont for some reason. Vermont has the Morgan horse as their state animal. Who cares, man? Who cares at all? Like, what? Like, it's just a brown horse. It doesn't even have a cool haircut. Yuck. Ew. Boo. Mediocre. Bottom of mediocre, if not almost butt tier. Only reason it's not butt tier is because it's not as bad as a squirrel. Yeah, Vermont should have had a snow panther or a snow leopard or something sick. I don't know, some kind of cool mountain bird or something. Okay, next up we have Virginia, the American foxhound. It's cute. It's definitely cute, but it is not menacing at all, and it does not look like it's very coordinated. Not elegant, not powerful. Relatively unique, though, because nobody would choose anything as stupid as a foxhound. I don't even think it's culturally significant. It's only saved from the butt tier by vibes. This is a good boy. A good boy, better than the Boston Terrier. Actually, probably mid. Better than the Cardinal. Worst in show? Yeah, no. It's certainly worse in show. Look at its weird bow legs, man. I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Ah, God. I don't know. This one has me sort of split. But I have to put it in the mid tier. Okay, Washington next. Washington has the state animal of the Olympic marmot. What does a marmot even do? Is a marmot like a beaver that can't build? If we're talking in Fortnite terms, it's like the beaver is traditional Fortnite and then the marmot is no build. Am I crazy? Hold on, let me Google. What do marmots do? They dig complex burrow systems for shelter and hibernation. Allegedly. I doubt anyone has ever actually been inside of one of those. Olympic marmot is a cool name, but I'm not impressed by this rodent. It's also like pretty lame to have a rodent as your state animal. So, ooh, it's low mediocre. Yeah, it belongs right there at the end. Maybe it's better than this stupid brown horse, but not better than the sheep because it doesn't even have any sort of horns or claws or anything menacing at all. So, next up, we got the state marine animal, which is the orca for Washington. We do quite like the orca. They are one of the smartest animals on Earth. They are also one of the most menacing animals on Earth. They hunt in packs. They can figure out how to flip boats and stuff. Is there one where the orcas, do they like knock the polar bear off the ice? Orcas so there's like the thing where they knock the polar bears off the ice with the waves that they generate with their body. They like alternate moving the ice sheet to flip it. Orca it's knocking a seal off ice. Here you go.
And it was like I froze and just looked out, and there is this huge wave heading towards the ice floe, this seal, and the seal's like waking up and kind of looking.
Seal's like,
the entire boat is just like, and the wave crashed down, and we just knew, that was it. We just, like, the whole boat just, and the hunt was on. I mean, these guys, they were on it. It was the most exciting thing I've ever seen in my life. And that day, we filmed, I think, 2 or 3 hunts. I mean, they didn't stop. They kept sending these waves.
They kept making the waves?
Ice was spinning around, the seal was clinging on, and them being flipped off. It was so dramatic. I mean, they were whizzing around.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Yeah, S tier for sure. Maybe the apex of this list, for sure. Banger. Absolute heater banger. Can't beat that. Next, we got West Virginia. Black bear. Again, we've already ranked the black bear. Ooh, Wisconsin with the badger. Go Badgers, I guess. Actually, no. Boo Badgers. I hate Badgers.
This wins the internet.
No, it doesn't. We don't like Badgers. What is this actually? What do they do? What do Badgers do? They're like little rodents. They're like marmots on steroids, but not quite as good as beavers because they can't build. What do they eat? Oh, they eat small mammals, insects, and plant matter. Okay, omnivores. That's kind of a sign of intelligence. We don't mind that. We kind of like that. Let's go ahead and put badgers into, I think they're high B. No. What am I thinking? They're like mediocre for sure. They're like top of mediocre. I'm not impressed by this guy. I'm certainly not impressed. I find this to be not very exciting. All right, and the final animal is another repeat. It's Wyoming. It's the buffalo, and that is unfortunate. But that is the ranking of every single state's animal